Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to The Mixer, the segment on this channel where I give you guys all sorts of detailed analyses from all walks of life. I'll talk about people, places, animals, food, traveling, sports, the whole 9 yards. Hence why it's called The Mixer, because I mix things up here. Ow, I freaking hit myself in the chin. Speaking of chin, I gotta shave my neck. I gotta shave this damn thing here. It's starting to drive me nuts. I gotta cut my hair. I gotta start looking better for YouTube. You know, I gotta get my wardrobe and makeup department on it. Gotta give them a raise because they've been working really hard, but you know, they're off today, so everybody has their day off, and today I'm just here alone by myself, standing here beside myself and doing the thing. So today's video is actually going to be a concept vlog, which in case you don't know is a term that I coined on my channel, which is a vlog where I literally just come here and talk to you guys. You know, it's literally the intro, me with the background music, and then the outro, so not a lot of fancy editing, you know. And today is going to be a very philosophical concept that I actually am going to build on after my last video. Not my last one, but there was a recent vlog that I recorded, you know, where I said that waiting in lines is hell, or horrible, a nightmare, why does it suck? I don't know, I forgot what I titled it, but you know, it's ever changing now. And towards the end of that video, I actually made a sort of like a throwaway statement about time, how time is the most important thing that we have on our planet, you know, and this and that. And I actually got inspired, you know, to do an entire video just talking about that, you know. It's gonna be a little bit more of a somber note, you know, because it's something that is actually, when you stop to think about it, is really, really serious and dramatic, you know. Maybe I'll try to inject a little bit of humor here and there, you know, doing the thing with the gym guy, yeah, pretty much like that. You know, maybe I'll try to do that occasionally, you know, just to see if I can make you guys a little chuckle a little bit, because it's going to be an otherwise very serious topic, you know. I have pondered for a long time, you know, what it is that people consider to be the most important things in their lives, and usually depending on who you talk to about it, they're going to give you varying answers, you know. So maybe one person might say their job, another might say their education, another might say their family, their kids, their pets, their health, their happiness, you know. But no matter what anybody says, I don't think that any single person will stop to consider this factor here, that the single most important thing that we have as a species, as humanity, you know, is actually often very overlooked, and that is time. Do you really ever stop to think about time and what it means to you, what it represents in the world, and how with or without it your entire life could change? The more time you have to do something, the more productive you're going to feel, right? And the more time that you're going to have to find joy or happiness in your life that you otherwise wouldn't if you were too busy with something else. The lack of time makes people be very depressed and stressed out, you know. I know about this a lot because last year I went through a rough patch and I was trying to get my driver's license, you know, which combined with my classes and my job left me with very little, if any, free time to do things that I like, you know, my pastimes, which really left me in a dark rut. And that's actually what seeded this idea inside of me that time is a much more precious thing than people make it out to be. We usually take time for granted, you know. We don't know what we have until it's gone. It's almost like, you know, whenever you lose a loved one, or a pet, you know, or a friend, you know, we have the habit of saying that we wish we had more time with the person while they were still alive. But we did, though. We had plenty of time with them and we took advantage of that time, but we didn't notice that we were. We live our lives with our friends and relatives and co-workers and our pets, you know, and we think like, wow, it's so good to be here with them. It feels really good to be here sharing this moment with them and feeling these things, you know. Relationships as well, you know, whether you're dating somebody or you're married, you know, it's the same thing, you know. We see that it feels good when we're with them, but then if one day we're not, it's almost like it's gonna feel like we didn't have any time at all with them, you know. You date somebody for a year, then you break up, or God forbid the person passes away, and then you're like, I wish I had a little bit more time with them. But you already had that entire year, you just didn't notice. It's that placebo effect, it's that psychological effect that has on us, you know, that when we lose somebody, it seems like all the time that we spent with them wasn't enough, you know. That's why time is so important. That's why it's so important for you to stop and think of how valuable it is, you know. If you stay an entire day sitting around on your couch, you know, not doing anything productive, the next day you're gonna look back and say, wow, I wish I had done something better with that time that I had, you know. It's always I wish I had instead of I should now, you know. Like I should take the time that I have now to do something instead of longing for not having it when it's not there anymore. There's a really interesting way for you to look at time if you've never stopped to think about it in this format here. Have you ever noticed how whenever you're doing something that you enjoy, well, a favorite pastime of yours or any activity that you're really getting into, do you notice how time seems to fly by? You know, it's like you're doing something and you get really into it, and then before you know it, I don't know, it's been like hours and you didn't even see them go by. Well, what about the opposite? What about when you're doing something that you don't enjoy? Like, let's say you have a very monotonous and boring job that you don't really enjoy too much, you know, and you're sitting there working and working and working and working and working and working. It feels like it's been several freaking hours. Then you look at the time and it's only been like 10 minutes, you know? That is insane, because I mean, like, the time is going by in the same way no matter what. Every minute has 60 seconds. Every hour has 60 minutes, you know? Like, every day has 12 hours and then another 12 for the nighttime, and so 24 hours in a day, however you want to look at it, you know. So it's gonna go by in the same exact way that it always does. But depending on what we're doing, and to make that time go by, it seems like it's either fast or slow. It's a very interesting concept, if you ask me. I think it's really cool how it works, actually, because it makes sense, you know? It's a placebo effect. We are putting in our heads the idea that time is going by faster when we're doing something that we enjoy, and it's taking forever when we're doing something that we don't enjoy, you know? And that actually makes it a lot harder for you to stop and put into perspective what I'm trying to say in this video here, you know? That it's always there. It's always gonna move at the same speed for everybody. Of course, depending on, like, if you're being tortured or something, or going through something very unsatisfactory and unpleasurable, then yes, it's gonna feel like it's an eternity, you know? But still, it's all psychological. It's all up here, you know? But the point is that time is a very, very fragile and elegant thing, because it goes by, it's there, you know, in the background. You can't manipulate it, you can't touch it, you can't physically alter it, but it's gonna go by no matter what. It can be very, very forgiving, but also very cruel, you know? They say that time heals all wounds. I have gone through this, you know. There are things that happened in my life many years ago that were very painful, and I thought I would never get over them, but as time went by, I did. You know, but there are certain things that leave everlasting scars, so it doesn't heal all wounds. Like, some of them it just kind of closes up but doesn't fully heal them, you know. It leaves a scar, but it's getting way too philosophical and emotional now, you know. I don't want this to sound too melodramatic, but the point that I'm trying to make is that we really need to come together as a species and value time a lot more. We have to collectively accept that time is the most important thing that we have. It's time that we spend doing our jobs and studying something new and taking care of our family, you know, hanging out with our friends and loving our pets, you know, everything. The time that you spend watching a movie or a sports game that you enjoy, the time that you spend making food, everything is coming together. It's almost like, because we know that we're all gonna die one day. Nobody lives forever. So, and everybody is born with this invisible countdown, this ticker above their head, you know. There is a Nickelback music video that played around with this. It's called, what's the name of the song? It already showed up here, but I forgot the name of it. Saving Me, there we go. The music video toys around with this by showing people having this timer, this huge number over their heads, you know, that actually goes down. And you don't really understand what's exactly happening. It's counting down, and then the main character in the music video sees that it's actually a countdown to death. When it reaches 0, the person expires, which is really interesting. And then there's an opportunity to save people by looking at their timers, you know, and seeing if they're about to die. Then they pull them from it. It's a really cool concept. Go watch the music video later. But that's kind of like what I'm trying to say, you know. It's so much more valuable than we perceive it. And when we start to embrace just how valuable and important it is, that's when we can really truly start to feel joy and balance in our lives. I really wish I had a bigger presence here on YouTube, you know, that like I had a larger following on the platform here so I could spread this message more, because I think it's really interesting and I'm really curious to know what other people think, you know. I don't get a lot of interactions here on my videos. Like, I know that there are friends of mine who do watch everything that I post and they like and stuff, and they'll come and talk to me outside of YouTube, but very rarely do I get comments on my videos. But if you come across this, you know, and you made it this far and I have made you think or ponder a little bit, let me know in the comments below what you think. You know, I'm legitimately curious about what you who's watching this video thinks about this, you know. Like, do you agree, do you disagree, and tell me why, you know. Tell me what your opinion is and why you have that opinion. I think it's going to be a really interesting debate, you know, because it's so philosophical and personal. Like, it just feels so I don't know, it's different, you know? Stopping to think about time in this format here, I think is a really cool thing to do. But still, it's there, it's the most overlying thing that we have. Time is always above us, you know? We think that we're constantly in control of our lives, but there's always a higher power. It depends on your religious beliefs, you know, and I don't even want to get into religion right now. You know, I have my own beliefs, I know who is in charge of my life, but if like just think about how time plays a role in that, you know? Factor in how much time has affected your life in the past, you know, the opportunities that you've had or didn't have or missed, or maybe the timing was a little bit off. If you had just said that one thing or done that one thing, you know, maybe a little bit earlier or a little bit later than when you actually did, imagine how different your life would have been, you know? There are so many close calls in history, you know, that can be given off as like creepy coincidences, but sometimes a few minutes of a difference was enough for like a world war to start. It gets really crazy, man. The more you look this up, the more insane it gets, you know. Maybe I'll do another video about that later, the creepiest coincidences, but I just wanted to give you my opinion about this, you know, this short little concept vlog. I think it's a very underrated thing, and it's also, aside from being underrated, time is also very underestimated too. It can be brutal, it can heal, but it can also kill. You know, so like somebody, a cancer patient, for example, you know, they are constantly having a race against time. Time is what might be able to kill them, but maybe it can be the way to find a cure. It just goes on and on and on, man, you know? And people who have gone through many disastrous events in their lives can also attest to this, you know? Let me know what you think about it, and if you happen to like the idea and the video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell too, so you can know exactly what time I upload while there's still time. Huh? You never know what tomorrow might bring. Anyway, this is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video, just in time to roll the outro screen.